all the time. I had no idea when I spoke to her that she was dealing with what she was dealing with at the time. And in this short time frame, we had a conversation less than a year ago, and she said, I want to start a co-working space for women. And I said, that's great. That's awesome. And I was like, well, I know some people and I have some resources. And I was like, I'd love to be a part of that. And at the time, I was building a business that I'm no longer building anymore. But my mind was so geared on that I couldn't really help like I wanted to with what she had going on. And I looked up, not even a month later, things got bad, but then they got worse on a personal level for her. But then instead of her just staying in that moment, she took that to rise above the occasion, and she started actively pursuing this co-working space. I mean, from watching her website go to no website at all, to a Facebook, to barely even having a logo, to evolving her logo, to, securing a location, to gutting that location, having volunteers come and help her with that, and build a co-working space just for women. OMG. I am so excited to introduce to you Miss Rabine Eckstein. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, because it rhymes. Rabine Eckstein. Okay, so without further ado, I'm going to bring her up so that she can talk about. Miss Rabine, how are you today?
I'm well. Good morning. Thank you for having me, Crystal.
I am so glad and honored that you came today. And I would love to know, what do you see that you've grown in the last year? I'm not even going to say 5 or 10 years because I know the growth that has happened in the last year, personally and professionally. How do you think you've grown in the last year?
Well, Crystal, I would say the number one thing, confidence. Having confidence in myself, having confidence in our mission, what God's called me to do, and just pursuing it and not letting it go.
That's amazing. I love that. I love it. I love it. So I'm not going to hold on too long because I want you to really dive in and tell people about what you do and all that lovely stuff. So are you going to do your presentation or do I need to?
I think I'm going to try. This is my first time ever doing this. So hang with me while I try this out.
Okay.
Okay. There we go. So I'm Rabine Eckstein. I started CoLab Tulsa. We did start out as a women's co-working space, but for financing reasons, we had some issues calling it that. So we are definitely geared towards women co-working, but we are now just office suites. We do service men and women. And our office proceeds go to help fund entrepreneurs who are starting businesses. So just to clarify that before we get started.
Yes.
Let me see. How do I do this?
I had to slide my mouse pad up. It for some reason wouldn't let me go to the next slide.
I see. So today we're talking about daily scheduling and taking back control. As we're all kind of experiencing working from home, maybe for the first time due to the coronavirus, there's a lot of schedule changes. Our kids, if you have kids, they're now, homeschooling. And so there's a lot of, things are just, it's a little hectic at first. And I know I'm a mother of 2 and I've struggled, with my work, my online classes, I'm in college, and then also helping them with their schooling, just trying to claim my days and take back control of a routine or a schedule. So I hope to help you with that today. So the number one time drain, brain drain is probably social media. We'll wake up in the mornings, we'll open our phone and we'll start thumbing through. And so, it happens to me, it happens to you, I'm sure. Like an hour or 2 will go by, maybe longer, before the coronavirus, the average person spent about 4 hours on their phone per day. And I'm sure that's exceedingly doubled since we're all home. So social media is kind of like it's an addiction. An addiction is exhibiting a compulsive, chronic, physiological or psychological need or habit-forming behavior. So technology is definitely, it can be addicting. So I'm going to show you this video, which I think is just great for, how do I do this? See if you can see that. Can you see that?
Top 10 one text. Software update. I gotta watch these movies and I gotta return them. Help. Mary. Gotta check my texts. My email.
Fred?
Help. More text. I gotta watch all these movies before they have to return them. Up on my queue and 10 family photos. I will send one more text. Reason one of those. DVR.
Please
I gotta check my Facebook update. I can Tumblr.
Fred, wait, please. You know what's happening, right? You're just spiraling. You're out of control. No, there's too many things going on. But
I want to check my texts.
You're out, right?
Help me, please. Please help me. Please help me out. Will you help me?
Yes.
Please help me.
Fred. That's in high school. That's you before computers and iPads and YouTube and for your fantasy football league.
We're gonna have to watch.
Don't have to look. You're in a technology loop.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, were you able to see that?
We weren't. It just now came on the screen, so restart it so we can see it.
So how do I don't really know how to share that.
Is that the video? It's already shared. We see it, so just make it a full screen. Click on that little square looking thing to the right and then hit play. You'll have to restart it.
Okay.
Movies would have to return them up on my queue and up to family goes. I will send one more text. Facebook update. I'm going to
Fred, wait. You know what's happening, right? You're spiraling. You're out of control. No, there's too many things going on. But
I want to check my text.
You're out, right?
Help me, please. Please help me. Please help me out. Will you help me? Please help me. I think that you're careful help. Checking out.
That's you in high school. Before computers and iPads and YouTube and Tumblr. For your technology loop.
What's you?
Okay.
And then exit.
There we go. Okay. So, bear with me. Okay. There we go. Okay, so the goal for working from home, spending our time in quarantine or in shelter in place, is to embrace this change of pace and probably to make the most of it in a healthy way. So moderation is key. So maybe I personally set time limits. So I will check my device at 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock. And I also set my voicemail on my phone to let people who call me know that I will only be returning calls at 11 or 4 daily. And so that I get this huge block of time where I don't have to worry about answering my phone or returning calls or emails, that that expectation is already set, and they know when to expect me to return their calls, which is really liberating. So here's some resources for you. Can you see this?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no.
You can't. I'm sorry. Let's see.
Which?
Uh-oh. Whoops. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. So here are some resources for helping to time manage and just take back control of your schedule and your daily life, so that you can have more time for your family, more time for your business, and just kind of separating your personal life from your work life, or your social media time. So this one book is from Nicholas Carr. He wrote this op-ed about how Google is actually making us stupid, and then he wrote this book. And it's really interesting that it talks about neuroplasticity of our brains and how constantly being interrupted by notifications or phones or different things, all the things that are going off constantly in our lives, how that actually makes us unable to concentrate, to get into really deep concentration where creativity forms, where you might be able to come up with that next great idea for your business. We're kind of selling ourselves short by constantly being interrupted. And so you'll see here there's notifications. You can actually turn the notifications on your phone off, or there's a do not disturb, and you can set kind of time limits. There's also this take a break challenge. It's an app on, I think it's on Android. Take a break challenge, where once you start the button on the app, you can set a time limit, but it will not let you access certain features like social media and things for a certain set period of hours. And once you start it, you can't undo it. Self-Control is another app. I think that's for Mac OS. It does basically the same thing. It kind of helps you break that addiction to picking up your phone and checking it. The average person checks their phone about 77 times per day, which can be really distracting if you're trying to get things done or spend some quality time with your family. Some healthy ways to use tech. A lot of people are switching to online grocery shopping. If you need to get news without having to flip through your phone all day endlessly without getting the actual news that you want, you can use a subscription-based Flipboard, which is stories curated for you. So you can select what you want to read every day, and it will come to your Flipboard inbox, and you can read what you want to read and nothing really that you don't, unless you subscribe to it. Having meals with our friends on Zoom is awesome. Friends and family, we're connecting a lot more that way. I know I'm personally connecting with my friends doing like a happy hour, because when you have your kids home all day, you need a break. You need to take some self-care for you. So me and the girlfriends, we get on for happy hour or happy half hour, and we just like check in with each other and see how we're doing on Zoom. It's nice. It's good to do that for yourself. And of course, work. So one trick I do for work is I have a uniform. So I keep like a blazer or a suit jacket nearby, so I can wear whatever I'm wearing, but before I get on to a work call, I just throw on a blazer and I'm ready. Never mind that I'm wearing pajamas below. They don't have to know. Okay, so here are 10 steps for kind of helping you reclaim your daily schedule. So really easy. I just outline a rhythm for my day or my week. So I say, I'm going to try to get up between 7 and 10, whatever works for you and your family or your lifestyle. But I definitely set business hours, and I'm a independent contractor basically. So I set my hours and let people know this is when I'm going to be available to take calls or to do business with you. And then outside those hours, if they call, I'm not going to answer, because you have to claim your own time. Learn to say no. So everyone, it's really easy to say yes, but I think it's really important right now, as the pace has changed, as life has slowed down, to prioritize what you want in your life and what you don't. So only say yes to things that feed your purpose, or the purpose that you want in your life. So if friends are asking you to come to dinner at their house because you can get away with it, maybe prioritize the safety of your family over a social gathering in person where you might get sick or bring back coronavirus to your home. It's just personal housekeeping things. So dedicated workspace. So if you're working from home, try to niche out a place in your space that is dedicated to work, that maybe you have a tray, a TV tray, or just a little corner of your house. And I know one of my friends has cleaned out his closet and has a light in there, and he put a little desk in there so he could get away from the kids and have a quiet space. And so whatever you need to do to get through this time, just make sure that you have dedicated workspace so that when you leave your workspace, like, work is done. And that when you walk into your workspace, you can step into that mental space that you need to do the work that you need to do without distractions. Create your own uniform. This is funny because we are in the coronavirus era. We are more and more wearing our pajamas, maybe all day. So I think it's really important to create a uniform, whatever that is for you, and wear it during your work hours, your business hours that you set. And then take it off when you're done. So it's a visual cue for yourself mentally and for your family that you're at work and now you're not. Weekends. So what is a weekend anymore, right? So we're all home all day, and so it's important for you to set. I think for me it is to set aside 2 days, whatever 2 days per week, that are sacred. So for me, it's Friday and Saturday. I don't do any work on Friday and Saturday. We don't check our phones. We don't do anything. We just hang out with family. It's movie night, just to take a brain break because we need it. I try on those days to not check my phone as much as possible. I put everything on do not disturb and I walk away from it all. Indulge a hobby. So for me, that's been gardening. I know some friends are taking up painting, music. This is now like an unprecedented chance to grow your inside, your creative side. So I encourage you, for your healthy habits and schedules, to have a hobby on those weekends. Schedule quality time. So we might not be able to go out to dinner or date night, but that doesn't mean you can't have that at home. So I know they say don't give your kids a lot of screen time, but if you could schedule with your significant other a date night every week, give the kids the iPad, let them watch a movie, and just have some alone time with your special other, just to keep your sanity so you can have an adult conversation without any interruptions. Vacation. So we might not be able to actually go anywhere right now, but that doesn't mean we can't dream about it. So right now I'm planning all my vacations that I want to take so that someday when I have the job and the income and the normal life back, I'll be able to go do those amazing things. And the last point, the 10th point, is exercise. It's important to get out, get some sunshine and fresh air every day. So that might be a walk through your neighborhood, or some people are doing yoga classes online. That's very interesting. Next thing you could do is do a challenge with your girlfriends or your friends, push-up challenge. Like today we're going to do 5, tomorrow we're going to add another, or a pedometer challenge. Who can do the most steps per day, just to make it interesting and make sure that you're getting some exercise while we're under quarantine. So let's stay connected and let's stay healthy. You can visit our page, www.colabtulsa.com, anytime, and thanks for giving me the time. Yeah.
OMG, Ravine, that was so good. All of those steps, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to this again so that I can actually take note of some of that stuff, because I'm that dedicated workspace Like my bed has been my office. Even though I have an office, my bed has been my office. And it's kind of hard to turn off bed, office. So it's like I'm in this perpetual, like I'm working all the time. I'm working, and then my laptop is sitting right next to me and my phone is on the other side, so I'm not getting that mental break that I need to say this is separate now. Versus when you go to a 9 to 5 job and you're at the job, when you leave that office, the day is over with. But I find myself working more at home than I did when I was working in an office.
It's so true. That's so true. So it's important to make that work-life balance, separate your times, demarcate your work and your personal life. Absolutely. I don't even bring my cell phone into my bedroom, and we have a TV in our bedroom just so that we have a resting space that work cannot come into ever.
Exactly. Very, very good. Okay, so the comments right now, Canty said, thank you, great information. Miss Angela, very good information. I need to set up some solid hours in specific workspace. Thank you. Purpose Prep LLC, the challenge is good. I could see it being very helpful checking in with people outside of your house to keep you accountable. That is very important because a lot of people do not have people outside of their homes to keep them accountable. And how do you be accountable? So do we have any other questions? I'll wait for the comments. I seem to be having a delay in comments. So if one of you other ladies see the comments out there, if you could please tell me what they say as well, or not. I don't know. I'll look and see if somebody comments. I'm not, for some reason, I'm not able to see comments. That is the weirdest thing. Maybe I'm logged into the wrong Google account. That could be what's causing it. Let me see if it's any different if I'm in my actual account. Nope, it wouldn't even let me go to it. Okay. So, okay, I have one comment from Canty. She says, what suggestions do you have about moving during the workday?
Moving during the workday?
So I guess being active.
Oh, yes. So if you can find a space, I try not to sit down. Even in my daily work life, I try to stand up as much as I can to get the blood flowing, so you don't get blood clots and things like that in your legs. It's a common thing if you sit too much. And so now that we're all sedentary through quarantine, it's important to make sure that you're getting up, you're standing up often. You can actually set a timer on some computers to ding every 15 to 30 minutes to remind you to stand up.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Great information. So setting a timer every 10 to 15 minutes to make sure that you're getting that activity that is much, much needed. Well, Rabeen.
On that note, I've actually set a timer on my watch to go off every hour because time seems to be, it just escapes me in quarantine. And so the whole day will just go by. So I set a timer on my watch to ding every hour just so that I keep track of time passing. So I'm like, oh, it's another hour. Oh, it's another hour. It helps me mentally.
That is really good information. Yes, I need to do that. Like set a timer every hour to get up for at least 5 to 10 minutes and stretch to get my body from just sitting all day. Well, Rabeen, thank you so much today. And I know you gave your website for people to be able to reach out to you if they're interested in checking. And what was that website one more time?
Sure, it's www.collab, that's COLLAB, Tulsa.com.
And if they were interested in having a space, do you have open spaces when this is over with
Yes.
for them to go into?
Yeah, so our launch week was going to be spring break, and that just happened to be the same time that this whole virus hit. And so we have 5 offices out of 8 that are still available, and we look forward to finding the right people to fill them.
And how much does it cost for a general space?
So our prices before the coronavirus were between $500, $600, all the way up to about $975 per month, and that's a full service suite. And we're walking distance to the courthouse downtown, so we're perfect for accountants or attorneys who want to have affordable working space right downtown, and we have free parking as well.
Amazing. Well, thank you for blessing us with that information today. That was very, very helpful. And we look forward to the growth and the progress with the collab and everything that's going. And see, you've grown even more since the last time I've known, because I thought it was just a women's co-working, but now it is a full-fledged co-working space for everybody, which there are some competitive edges to that, but I think what gets you is you have free parking. That beats all of it.
I would like to say that although our space is open to men and women, anyone, to rent space and office space, our proceeds still go towards women. So that was the goal, is to empower women entrepreneurs. And so our goal is to give away about reinvest $65,000 per year in women entrepreneurs through like the Kiva platform. So find women entrepreneurs, hopefully locally, and invest that money into their businesses so that they can start their businesses and feel empowered, financially independent. Yeah.
Well, thank you again. I'm going to jump over here to our comments and make sure I didn't miss any. What's a good way to clear your mind from work when work is stuck in the back of your mind? That's a good question.
That is so hard, right? So my counselor, she recommends journaling. So whenever you have a lot of things going on in your mind, she said, grab a journal, write it all down, and then let it go. Don't reread it, just let it go.